Level 1. The draft. You are not a soldier. You are not a nuclear physicist. You are a baker, or a mechanic, or a student living in the Soviet Union in the spring of 1986. You wake up to a heavy knock on your door. The military tells you that you have been drafted for a special training camp. You are not allowed to pack a bag. You are not allowed to call your family. You are loaded onto a crowded bus with 30 other confused men. No one tells you where you are going, but as the bus drives through the night, a faint metallic taste begins to build on your tongue. Level 2. The Dead City. You arrive at a military checkpoint. A sign reads, Exclusion Zone, 30 kilometers. The bus drives into the city of Pripyat. It is a ghost town. The pine trees on the edge of the city have turned a sickening, unnatural shade of rust red. You look up. Military helicopters are flying back and forth, dropping massive loads of sand and boron into a smoking, ruined building in the distance. Reactor number 4 has exploded, and you have been brought here to clean it up. Level 3. The Invisible Enemy. You are gathered in a drafty tent for a briefing. A scientist with a chalkboard tries to explain what you are facing. You learn about radiation. It is not a poison you can wash off. It is essentially trillions of microscopic bullets traveling at the speed of light. You learn the word Roentgen. A normal chest X-ray exposes you to a fraction of 1 Roentgen. A lethal dose is 400. You are standing in a zone where the air itself is actively destroying your DNA. It is tearing apart your cells faster than your body can rebuild them. The enemy is completely invisible. It makes no sound, but if you stand in the wrong place for too long, you will be a dead man walking. Level 4. The Failed Machines. The commander points to a map of the reactor roof. It is covered in chunks of highly radioactive graphite that blew out of the core. The radiation up there is unfathomable. 10,000 to 12,000 Roentgens. Standing on the roof for just 3 minutes will kill you. The government tried to use machines. They bought a remote-controlled police robot from West Germany. They sent lunar rovers designed for the surface of the moon. The radiation was so intense it instantly scrambled their microchips. The billion-dollar machines drove into walls and died within minutes. Machines cannot do the job. But human beings don't have microchips. You are the new robot. You are a biorobot. Level 5. The Armor. You are sent to the staging area to get your protective gear. There are no high-tech hazmat suits. The radiation on the roof is so heavy it will punch straight through standard military rubber. So, you have to make your own armor. You take sheets of scrap lead, the same metal used to line X-ray rooms, and cut them with heavy shears. You tie a sheet of lead over your chest like a medieval breastplate. You wrap a piece around your spine to protect your bone marrow. You fashion a crude cup to protect your reproductive organs. You tie it all together with leather straps. You weigh an extra 60 pounds. You put on a flimsy cloth mask and a plastic helmet. You look like a knight made of garbage. But this scrap metal is the only thing standing between you and a gruesome death. Level 6. The Stairwell. It is time. You and 20 other men are marched up the dark, concrete stairwell of Reactor 3. You stop at the final landing, just beneath the heavy steel door that leads to the roof. The psychological torture begins. You have to wait for the group ahead of you to finish. You stand in the dark, sweating under the lead. The metallic taste of ionized air is overwhelming. It tastes like you are sucking on copper pennies. It is the taste of your own cells dying. A military officer stands by the door with a stopwatch. The siren winds up. The heavy door is shoved open. The light pours in. Level 7, the 90 seconds. You run out onto the roof. The siren is blaring. You have exactly 90 seconds. If you trip, if you freeze, or if you stay for 120 seconds, your life expectancy drops to 0. The radiation is so unbelievably high that it creates a physical effect on the air. The film in the military cameras literally sparks and burns from the gamma rays. You grab a heavy, clumsy shovel. You plunge it into a 100-pound chunk of radioactive graphite. Your muscles scream under the weight of the lead armor. You run to the edge of the roof. You throw the debris over the edge, down into the open, smoking maw of the destroyed reactor. You manage 2 scoops. The siren blares again. Your 90 seconds are up. You drop the shovel and run for your life. Level 8, the Decontamination. You crash back through the heavy steel door, gasping for air. You are immediately rushed to decontamination. You frantically rip off the leather straps. You throw the scrap lead onto a massive pile. It will be buried underground in a concrete vault. You are pushed into a military shower. The water is freezing. You scrub your skin with a stiff brush until it is raw and bleeding, trying to wash off the radioactive dust. But no matter how hard you scrub, the terrible, metallic taste of copper remains in your mouth. You know the truth. The radiation is already inside you. Level 9. The reward. Your deployment is over. You survive the roof. You are called into an office. A bureaucrat hands you a cheap, mass-produced certificate, thanking you for your service to the Soviet Union. They pin a small medal to your chest. They hand you a bonus of 100 rubles, roughly $100. Then, they hand you a non-disclosure agreement. You are told that everything you saw, everything you did, and the amount of radiation you absorbed is a strict state secret. If you tell a doctor how much radiation you were exposed to, you will be arrested. You are put back on a bus and sent home. Level 10. The Ghost. Years later, the Soviet Union has collapsed, but the radiation inside you did not. You are back in civilian life, dealing with devastating, unexplained health consequences. Chronic fatigue. Cataracts. Cancers that the government doctors refused to officially link to Chernobyl. Your medical records were falsified. Your official radiation dose was recorded just below the legal limit, ensuring the government doesn't have to pay for your medical care. You and hundreds of thousands of other liquidators built the sarcophagus. You stopped the radiation from spreading across Europe. You saved millions of lives using nothing but scrap metal and a shovel. But your sacrifice will remain buried under bureaucratic lies. You are a bio-robot, a machine made of meat that did its job, broke down, and was quietly discarded.